Hey everybody, welcome to Cara's Cucina. I am so excited to be doing an entire series with guests and kicking things off with my dear friend, Chef Jesse Jones, the man, the myth, the legend, pal.
Yes.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much for joining me here today.
Oh, thank you.
Always a pleasure to have you.
Long-time friendship.
I know,
Thanks for having me.
I know.
Again.
And we were talking earlier, this is your 5th Cucina episode.
Yes.
The 5th dish that you have shared with us, and I'm so happy. What are you making for us today?
Well, I'm making a classic shrimp and grits.
Okay.
With a little modern twist.
Okay.
And basically, the classic is done with bacon and onions and shallots and things like that. Nowadays, people are kind of like doing their own little spin on it.
Right,
so everybody have their own shrimp and grits, but this is mine. And so right now, I got some water going for the grits.
Now, this is a conversation you and I have all the time, is the difference between polenta, which is notoriously Italian, and grits, which is Southern. And so, what is the difference for folks? And what should they look for when they're buying?
Well, you know what? I just did an event and I tell people Google it.
Google it.
Yeah, Google polenta and it'll say grit. So basically, mostly Italian polenta is fine.
It's fine.
Fine corn.
It's the
and when you get into the course, they consider that grits.
Grits.
But
it's cornmeal either way.
But it's cornmeal all the way. Get that part. So in this, I'm gonna add a little salt to the water because we want to get that going first because the shrimp is pretty fast.
Yep.
So I have 4 cups of water to 1 cup of grits, and these are the white grits. And the reason why I like the white grits is because they're a little milder and they're less starchy.
Okay.
The yellow grits and polenta is really starchy.
He gets that real starch,
Yeah, so it has a strong flavor. So I like this because I'm adding cheese and it's a little lighter. And if you want to cut back on your starch, white is the deal.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna stir these in, keep them moving. You want to keep them moving, because you don't want them to stick, and you want that hot water and butter and salt to start to open up the corn. So let's keep that going. We'll multitask here.
Do you need me to stir? I can
Yes.
switch
Oh,
places
yes,
with you.
yes. Thank you, my dear.
I'll
Thank
stir
you.
grits.
Thank you. So yes, so I'm gonna put a little bit of oil here, olive oil. And the reason why I'm putting a lot of oil because I want to make a little roux as well. So I'm gonna add a little butter in there because I want to add my shrimp.
Did you pre-season or marinate those shrimp?
Yes, good question. Thank you. The shrimp are marinated. You can get that essence in my cookbook. It's very simple though. I just put onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, salt, a little bit of fresh thyme, and voila. I like to season them overnight to get that flavor. And yes, so of course, shrimp has a self indicator that they're ready once they start turning red.
Start to change color.
So yeah, and you don't want to overcook your shrimp. Although a lot of people tend to like their food, seafood killed, but we want to your preference. But I like to,
with you.
You know what I mean? I like to.
But if you ever see a recipe that tells you to cook fish for like 30 minutes, throw it out.
Yes, exactly. So while you stirring there, so you can kind of let those rock on their own now.
Okay, I'll let them hang out a little bit.
Yeah, So now I'm turning these over here. Like I said, once it gets going, it's a pretty quick dish.
I was gonna say, as soon as you start to see that color
And like I said, normally when I turn them like this, I'm gonna take these out, and I'm gonna take them out, let them cook a little bit more. I'm gonna put them right back into the bowl because I'm gonna put it right back in there to heat up.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna crank this up a little bit more. Okay, so now that's okay if you even taking them out. You like I said, you don't want to cook them all the way through.
Okay.
Because you still got to put the sauce. They still got to get happy and love, love, love. You know what I mean? We're gonna take this out. When I come on your show, I know. You know what I mean?
You know what? I could walk away.
This is a real show.
I could just let you do this.
Yeah,
I don't even have to be here, really.
Yeah, this is a real show. Actually, me and Cara, we're pros, so we can get on camera and play around. Everybody else is scripted. Okay, so now I got all that love, the shrimp flavor, the butter, and the olive oil. What I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna add my little shallots in there. Now I already pre-sauteed these because obviously, it'll take forever. And we don't want to bore you. So we got a little bit of shallots and garlic that I sauteed in bacon. That sounds good, right? Yes.
That's
big budget here, big show.
That's it. That's
so we'll get that in there. Just this second layer of love. You know what I mean? Get that in there. Okay, so that's going there. I'm gonna add a little bit of essence, same thing that I described to you, just to get some flavor in there.
Why did you pick this dish? Why did you want to share this with everybody?
Well, I'm sharing this dish is because it's African American month,
Heritage Month, yes.
So African American, Black American month. You know, everybody getting mixed up because I'm born in America. So yeah, so I wanted to pick this dish because of that. But we celebrate African American history every day, every year. You know, 24/7. But this particular month, we just highlight people that paved the way for us. All the Black Americans that's doing great, and the African American and Black Americans that's doing great in the world that we can just be proud of. Beside all the race, put all that aside, is that the great contributions for
absolutely,
and then that I look up to, especially like Chef Lewis, the women. She was the queen of Southern, and just all the chefs that paved the way for both of us to do what we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so now I'm gonna start my little roux here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna add a little bit of flour.
So roux is basically fat and flour for the most part, right?
Yes, roux is equal parts of fat and flour. So a cup of flour, a cup of oil, and any kind of fat that you love. You know, olive oil, bacon fat, pork fat, lard, everything goes. So I'm just gonna get that in there. And basically I don't want to get it too thick. So now I'm gonna let that cook, just let that flour cook out. How are grits going? Let's stir it one more time.
Grits gonna give it another stir? They're getting there.
Yep, so we're gonna crank it up a little bit.
Crank it up, okay.
And let's put the top on it really quick. All right, now, okay, so now that's looking good.
Smell. One of these days we're gonna get smell-o-vision.
Yeah, we need that smell-o-vision, maybe a little bit more. And of course, when you measure the one in one, but with me, we chefs, we eyeball
we
stuff.
Do. My great grandmother
so
said
long.
we do by high.
Yeah, we do it. That's
With her
right. You know, a little bit of that, throw it over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead with some classic shrimp stock.
Now, do you make your own or do you buy that?
This is homemade shrimp stock. I recommend anybody just make your own stock.
You can do it from the shells of the shrimp, right?
Yes.
Just boil them?
Yes. So yeah, like I said, these are 21.25s. I normally get them shell, I peel them. Mm-hmm. And if you don't feel like peeling, if you still want to make the stock, you can get the tails. So they have the tails on, they clean the vein, but then they have the tails. You can use that to get those tails for the stock. And then, you know, and go from there. But yeah, I mean, the store stuff, you know, it's each his own. People like to use it, but I figure all natural flavor, you don't have to worry about what's in it. And it's very simple. You just get a little bit of celery, onions, you know, water, your shells. I put a little Old Bay, a little white wine, and voila. Okay, we're gonna crank this up a little bit. We want this to start to go to the boil. It's gonna get thick, right? Let that get thick. Now, this is my classic pepper sauce that I've been working on, and it's
You've been working on this.
I've been working on this for a long time. So this is my signature dish, the signature sauce. Sorry, and yeah, it had just roasted peppers and roasted shallots and garlic and hot peppers, and I blended a little bit of stock. And voila! Just give the shrimp and grits a little bit of pow. And that's passion, opportunity, and work.
See, I don't even have to ask you. I was just gonna say, what's that stand for? But
yes,
you're ahead of me. You're always ahead of me.
So now we getting that going. Oh yeah, them grits looking good there. A little bit more.
Little longer.
Okay, so now look at that. But now that that's good, what we do is we're going to add the bacon. Yeah, this is pow.
This is a real deal. Chef, how's everything looking?
Yes, so now I just add the stock and it's thickening up. I put the bacon in and I add a little bit of essence. I'm gonna add a little crushed pepper in there because you know we need a little heat.
A little fire.
Let me get this out the way.
Am I putting cheese in these grits?
Yep, yep, do it.
All of this?
Yes. Yes.
My
Pow.
Man. My man.
We'll worry about our arteries later.
Yeah. What kind of cheese is this?
So this is a blend of age, Mao, and Sharp together.
Ooh, all cheddar.
Yeah, all cheddar, all love, yes. And like I said, if you're doing polenta, of course, you know, Italian, you put your Italian.
You put Parmesan in.
Parmigiano, you know what I mean? Make it yours, you know?
Can you tell me a little bit, like, the history of shrimp and grits? Like, where did this dish come from? Do you know?
Oh, yeah. So shrimp and grits started in Charleston.
Oh, wow. Okay.
In South Carolina. And they started to do, you know, the grits with the cheese. And it was just amazing. So if you go back, if you Google, you go back to time, it started there, and then, you know, in the American South, and, you know, now, but also people wasn't eating grits like at dinner time. You know, it was always it was like a breakfast thing. And so so the story goes, like in Harlem, these jazz musicians would play all way hours of the night. And when they were done their sets, they were still hungry. It was in between breakfast and dinner.
Right.
And so that's when the chicken and waffles came about. Grits and shrimp and grits came. So that's you know, that's the story. At least that's what they told me. You know, we wasn't there, so we have to kind of believe it.
We'll have to believe the story.
Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit of shrimp stock to this. That's looking pretty good there. We'll put the top, how they're looking nice and thick.
It looks beautiful.
Okay, we'll let them roll a little
Let
bit.
them roll just a
So I
little
don't like, I like my grits a little creamy.
Yeah.
You can add milk, but I don't because of the cheese is creamy.
Yeah.
So it's just like you guys, you want to add milk, but if you're watching your weight, I know I'm a little fat, but you can add a little heavy cream if you want, if you want to just pick it up a little bit. But I use the multiple cheeses, so I know I got that to make them creamy.
Got that flavor in there.
And of course they're gonna sit, and as they sit, they're gonna get thicker.
They're gonna get thicker, of course.
Okay, so I'm gonna, see, now that's looking good there. I already put my essence in. I'm gonna add the shrimp back in. And that's where you don't wanna, like I said, you don't wanna overcook them because they're gonna finish cooking in that sauce.
Hang out here for
they're
a
gonna
little
hang
bit.
out for a minute. We'd add a little bit more essence. A little bit of tomato concassé. Now this is just tomatoes that I blanched in water, score them, blanched them, pull the skin off, and kind of seeded them and
diced them
just
up.
a little, just a little flavor. This is where the shrimp and grit dish get expensive when I'm doing concassé and things like that. You gotta pay a little bit more. Okay, so let's put the top on our grits because we're gonna be plating soon.
Okay.
So let's see how, we're looking, we want to, I like mine's almost like a porridge. Some people like them super thick, but I like them nice and creamy, you know? Okay, so let's put that on there. So, a little bit more essence in there. We got the bacon in there. We got the shrimp stock. We got the roux. I mean, this is shrimp and grits and tomatoes. Now, most classic dishes, they put the tomatoes in there and things like that and bring it all up. But this is my version, you know?
I like it.
So, yes. So, we're going to serve up. How's our grits?
I think they look good. Let's see. Are they thick enough for you?
Yeah, they're looking good.
Yeah, looking good? All right.
Yeah.
Chef, right behind you, there's
So
a
what we're
big
gonna do?
ladle.
So what we're gonna do is grab your ladle here. We're going to put a little bit at the bottom.
Oh man. Where'd that tasting spoon go? I just need to eat the grits.
Here, you gotta taste it. So here we go. So we're gonna turn this off because that's looking pretty good there.
Oh my God.
Okay. So we're gonna finish with a little tomatoes here, a little bit of essence, a little bit of pow. Let's serve this up. And like I said, if you like your shrimp cooked a little bit more, definitely cook them. But
Let 'em
I
go.
like mine's like a little medium. This is how that's my preference.
That's got to be a huge difference from even when you went to culinary school.
Yes.
Like I feel like it used to be like pork and seafood were the thing. Chicken obviously is
Yes,
still.
yes.
But I feel like more and more we're hearing that these are things that can be done medium. They don't have to be cooked to death.
Exactly, and that's when I was in school. That's what we learned,
Right.
And it was a little tough because working with my mother and cooking. My mother pulverized things. My mother would cook things forever. I'm like, Mommy, I think the greens are done. They're on 6 hours. She's like, nope. But that's how it is. But we don't question Mom.
No.
Okay, so now I'm gonna finish with a little microgreens in the middle there. So let's try this out.
We
how
gotta
the
dive
kick
on
there.
in.
Yeah, let's see.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Oh my God. That's the pow right there.
Pow.
That is it. That is it.
Mm.
Incredible. Guys, Chef Jesse's cookbook is available on Amazon. Please check them out. I'll hook you up with a link in the description below. As always, you can follow me, Facebook and Instagram at Cara Di Falco, as well as on Pinterest. I hope to see you guys there. And if you haven't yet, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. See you guys next time.
Pow.
This is
Good, right?